Well, it's early September. We've had a huge temperature drop today. It's been in the 90s. It's supposed to go back up again, in about 2 days. We've had nothing but rain off and on, mostly on, for the past week, which has really killed my ability to get out there and fish. Went one day, it was 93, and it had limited time. I picked up like one or two bass and went home. I was only actually fishing about a half an hour, which wasn't that fun. So today I said, forget it. No matter what the weather's like, I'm going to try to get out. So there's intermittent gusts. It's blowing about 10 miles an hour steadily, but with gusts up to 20 at times. And it's lightly raining at times. It's steady showering. So packed a little bit of weather gear, and I'm gonna try to do a little fishing in my favorite spot here in Milton. It's not far from home, and I'm thinking that maybe the spinnerbait, buzzbait, and maybe some jig fishing will be the trick today. Obviously, topwater lures, delicate stuff won't be hitting because there's going to be so much rain and wind and just chatter on the surface. I'm thinking something maybe big and shiny and noisy will get their attention, because the water's probably a little murky too with all the runoff from the nearby farms where I'm going fishing. Well, it's been non-stop showering the whole time I've been out here, but I've managed to pull in quite a decent number of bass. I haven't switched baits at all. I've been actually having a multi-species day. I got a bluegill and a pretty nice sized pickerel mixed in there with, a slew of, smallish with a, few decent sized largemouth bass mixed in there. All on the rooster tail. I had a huge one. He wrapped me around some, I guess, roughage down in the water. I could see it. I had a big guy on there, and he broke off my white rooster tail, 1/8 ounce, that was doing the trick. So I switched up to a yellow one, and it seems to be doing pretty well. Also, I've caught several fish on that. So I'm kind of tucked away next to a duck blind here in an area with a little bit of tree cover. It's not really blocking anything. Actually, the drops are bigger, if anything, because they're dripping off the trees, accumulating. But I'm gonna head back out here. I'm not even at the spot where I typically catch most of my large bass in this pond, which is all the way down in the back where it starts to narrow down, and there's a nice deep channel that people used to use back there to go duck hunting. I tend to do really well back there on top water, which obviously isn't going to work so well in the rain. So I'm going to try sticking with the rooster tail and, hoping for the best. I actually considered, throwing a buzz bait if this fizzles out, just because of all the noise and turbulence, and attention that it could grab from the bass. And I'll get back out there to it in a second. Now I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the rain at least lightens up a little bit. I would take a drizzle at this point, would seem like paradise. Well, I made it back to the part of this huge pond where I typically catch the biggest fish, and between the wind and the rain and just fishing for about an hour and a half to get to that spot with constant wind and rain, I'm just thoroughly soaked and cold, shivering. Going ahead and making the drive back to the truck. I'm going to sit in there with the heat on for a few minutes and decide whether I can, warm up enough to get back out here. Which is funny, a few days ago I fished here and it was 93. I was dripping wet with sweat, and then, this huge front moved in. We've had a lot of wind and rain, and now today it's about 60. I'm soaked. It's blowing about 15 with gusts up to 25 miles per hour. I am getting just battered by the elements today. I'm hoping to have a change of clothes in the car. At least some, maybe some dry shorts would be nice.